Post Malone's fans, I gotta cyberbully you. Not really. You know, I understand the cause for concern. I do. With the cases of Lil Peep, a Mac Miller, a Juice World, I understand why you'd be worried about an artist moving awkwardly on stage as he's performing for the entertainment of the people that he knows paid to see him perform at his show for the people. So basically, all this controversy started from Post Malone falling apart while he's performing his song Fall Apart. And people got up in arms because they saw a clip of Post Malone stumbling, tumbling over himself, tripping while he's performing his song. Now, if you ask me, performers are paid to perform, right? They're there to put on an act, to enhance the experience of whatever song that they may have done, enhance the emotion by physically enacting whatever it is that the song is trying to convey. I think that's fine. And artists have been doing it for a very long time. Only issue is we haven't always had access to their performances because everyone that went to the show wasn't always recording. There's a lot of stuff that happens at live shows that people probably have no idea about, and they probably never will have an idea about because people don't record it. They sit there and they experience it. I think it is kind of funny and ironic that while addressing Post Malone's quote-unquote addictions, people can't even address their own addiction to actually being in the moment and experiencing something live as opposed to having to record it. It's the most ironic thing in the world that I see all these people recording Post Malone. And I don't want to sound like one of those old dudes like, oh,
everyone's addicted to their cell phones.
But it's so weird to see people put themselves on such a high level of understanding while at the same time being so ignorant to something that consumes them wholeheartedly and completely. But yeah, Post Malone's the one with the issue because he's performing during his performance. Again, I'm not discounting or discrediting worry and anxiety because of our experience in dealing with some of our favorites passing way before their time. However, you do have to be careful to not project your anxieties and your fears onto others, because it went as far as Post Malone having to address this at his most recent live show, having to tell people, hey, I'm fine. Now, yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's exactly what an addict would say. I'll retort with, what the fuck else is he supposed to say? It's a lose-lose situation because if there's heavy speculation about you being on something and you come out and say, I'm not on anything, I just have a high amount of energy and able to do all of this stuff on stage for your entertainment, because I feel so good, that's why I'm able to do all this stuff. Couple issues with the videos that I've seen of Post Malone, quote-unquote, having these episodes on stage. One, they're always out of context. I don't know who actually shared the initial clip of him tumbling over and falling and all that jazz. But I do know it was like 20 to 30 seconds out of a probably hour and 20 plus minute performance. And that seems to be the only one that's being shared and the one people are concerned about. So I took the liberty of looking up Post Malone's past shows, all from this year. And for some odd reason, it's the craziest thing. Post Malone, in the performances that I've seen, the hour-long performances that I sat through, he walks out of the stage, he introduces himself, he says, we're going to have a great time tonight, we're going to get fucked up too, he says that. And whenever he gets to fall apart, it's crazy. Dude starts falling apart. He literally, in his New Jersey show, I believe, when he brought Tyga out, he literally says before he starts the song, this is dedicated to anyone that's had their heart broken, and proceeds to physically fall apart, looking unable to go on, looking unable to move forward because of this heartbreak. You want him to just be stiff and stand there and not feel the song that he wrote? I saw someone post a 15-second clip of this dude standing up, picking his microphone up, and then they said, oh, you can see the pain in his eyes. Bitch, he can't see. All of you guys have your cell phone up. There's light everywhere. There's a bright-ass light in my face. I'm squinting because I'm trying to see the crowd. Y'all not making it any easier. This isn't to say that I believe Post Malone has never done drugs or isn't on any drug. But from what I've seen, there seems to be an intentional shift from person to performer when Post Malone goes from talking about the song that he's about to perform to actually performing it. Lastly, I think I've seen this handled in such a condescending way, because we do know that people suffer from these addictions and these situations on a regular basis. No one's debating that. But when people come out and they show their quote unquote concern for you, I feel they don't know how to do so without at the same time talking down to you. And I could see why, if someone were addicted to anything, they would have an issue coming out to say something, because it's never talked about as if you're the victim to something that, yes, you intentionally put into your body, but now you've developed a necessity for. I don't believe people talk about it in an open enough way to where the person that's actually going through it feels comfortable even saying or coming close to saying, yeah, I used to. And I'm not saying you should normalize that behavior, but I am saying you should speak about it in ways that encourage people to release these thoughts and emotions. Because here's the thing that I noticed. No one said, I really hope Post Malone's okay. No one just flat out just said that. No one said, oh, I hope Post Malone is doing all right. I saw him perform that Heartbreak song, and he looked really broken up. I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Could you imagine how much more well-received that all would have been had people focused on, I wonder what's going on with him mentally and if he's okay up here, as opposed to immediately going to drug use because he stumbled over and because he let his body loose. I think a lot of people that are trying to express sentiment need to do a 10 times better job at trying to express it without at the same time looking down on someone. I don't think many people realize how often they do it, but every single post that I've seen is literally with the same attitude, typed in the same tone. There are people that have never been to a Post Malone concert corroborating the story. There are people expressing their concern that whose only exposure to Post Malone has been through their Apple Music playlist. And again, there's nothing wrong with showing concern, but do not project your anxieties and your fears onto other people. Just because you're concerned doesn't mean you have to force this theory that Post is on anything. You need to be healthier, more open, less judgmental dialogues about this type of stuff before you ever see symptoms of it. If you are genuinely concerned about someone like that, he brought out Tyga. He was jumping around. He was energetic. But the second he got to Heartbreak, the second he got to Fall Apart, dude seemed to almost lose his abilities and his motor functions almost. At the end of the day, we all have to learn what a stage performer is and remember what an artist is. Unfortunately, people's pain and their tragedy and their trauma gets turned into entertainment. But it's them to exploit themselves for your entertainment, all right? You don't have a problem with that, do you? Post Malone is no different from your local stripper. I know you want to make it seem like there's a big difference. Honestly, there isn't. This microphone in Post Malone's hands is honestly just one big pole. And instead of shaking his ass on stage for y'all, instead he's talking about things that hurt him in the past. And just like the people at the strip club, y'all go and eat the same shit up at his concerts. And before you go and type an essay in my comment section talking about the disadvantages that strippers face, please don't. I already know. But the fact of the matter is, one of these performances goes on stage and uses their body. The other performer goes on stage and uses their pain. No difference to me. Even after Post goes on to address the concerns and say that he feels fine and he's in the best place that he's ever been, which again I know is a cause for concern because people like Mac Miller said the same thing weeks before their passing. People still came out after and said, well, I still don't believe him. I'm not convinced. This is the issue where people don't understand boundaries, where they don't realize how far you could be overstepping. And I get concern, I get anxiety and fear, but in no way, shape, or form does Post Malone have to be in a position where he needs to convince you of anything. I think this entitlement to answers and questions and peering into someone's life, I do think it is cool that people can have that refuge and people want to be that support system. But at the end of the day, you don't know this guy. Other people might not be like the internet, man. Everybody don't trust every single person that comes up to them and says, hey, I'm a fan. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think this generation understands the idea of boundaries, crossing lines. At the end of the day, people are going to believe what they believe. And if it gives them more comfort believing that you're on something because they want a place to put their anxiety and their fears, then they're going to do so. And I believe a lot of this situation, even after Post Malone has come out and said that he feels fine, is about people wanting to be right sometimes more than it is about people actually being concerned. Question is, do I believe Post Malone? I personally think he's a stage performer. He's going to perform. It's not a secret or any kind of surprise that once he gets to specific songs, he performs in a much more heartbroken, unable to go on fashion. That's just where I'm at with it. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section down below. I'll see y'all next time. And also, I kind of I don't want to keep using this microphone. All right, I got a clip, right, and I can put it right here. But you can let me know if you feel it's too professional, because I don't like the clip, because I'm gonna be doing hand signs up here, like gang signs and jutsus, if I don't have this microphone. But at the same time, I don't like holding this microphone. So you let me know if you would prefer a clip or the mic. I kind of would prefer a clip, but I also will miss my mic. So just let me know, okay? Have a great day. Stop doing drugs, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.